So, hello and good morning. I'm glad you made it to this LinkedIn Live event. I must admit that this is the first time I host a video live event, and the technology has been my friend so far. So let's hope it continues like that. First of all, I have an important question for you. So, hello and good morning. I'm glad you made it to this LinkedIn Live event. I must admit, do you want to win? I mean, do you really want to win? And do you know what you have to do for that? What makes a winner? Winners are prepared. Winners imagine. Winners train and execute. Winners know the rules. Winners know the game. My name is Simon Museus, and today I will present you a solution on how to be a winner in the big game of business. We all want to achieve our goals, especially when you are the owner of a small or medium-sized business. You have started it with a purpose. You have run it, you have led your teams, you have strived in a market. You have been successful, probably burning a lot of your energy, often sitting late nights and helping hands-on. Have you achieved your goals? If you have not, are you clear about your goals? How and when to achieve them? The roadmap to your success is a strategy. It is your strategy and it is your game. Now, how to do that? There are many roads to Rome and even more to a great strategy. You can spend a fortune on business school courses to learn 1, 2, or 3 tools in depth. I have led a number of businesses and have gone through many courses and subsequent applications. And what I have learned is that, first, there are already an incredible tool, number, or process for any problem. Second, it is not always obvious when and which tool to use. And third, it takes a while to understand each tool. You don't have the time to try and fail on your strategy over and over. To spare you the pain of spending fortunes on business schools and being mindful of your time, I've taken my knowledge, experience, and a lot of interaction with outstanding SME leaders and compiled information into a sleek and proper field guide, I hope. It is Your Game is not a book to read in one go. It is not a story of success and failure. What it is a companion and manual to make your life easier and help you create profitable growth from wherever you are in your process. It is Your Game is written straight for SME owners and general managers. Also middle managers in large corporations or strategy consultants will get plenty of value out of it. The problem that I have seen is that the large number of great strategy tools out there are built and described for multi-billion-dollar enterprises. Case studies are mostly written using the Amazons, Apples, Kodaks, and Nokias of this world. This is not something an SME can easily relate to. Too big, too complex, too far from the reality of every day. Now, the tools and rules are nevertheless fantastic if you know how, when, and in which sequence to use them. I have taken 37 of them, and yes, there are even more, and organized them into a clear order form that will help you create value in no time. Now let's dive into the solution. What will you find inside the book and the webpage? I've ordered the tools in 4 strategic foundations or pillars. First, there's the exploration and inventory. Second, the strategic composition. Third, the strategy execution and action. And finally, people and teams. Here you will find all tools ordered and described in a way that you can use them in short time. In addition, you will find use cases and working sheets on the web page, which you can download free of cost. It is not even required that you sign up. A little thank you would be nice, though. A strategy process needs to address at least these 4 areas, or pillars as I call them. First, the exploration and inventory. Here you have to find out where your enterprise is standing today, inside and outside. Markets, competitors, trends, but also internal strengths and weaknesses. Second, the strategy composition. When you know enough of your status, it is time to bring it all together. What's the big goal? Where are the roots? What stands in the way, and how do you deal with it? Third, the strategy execution. A strategy is not an action plan. Once the big picture and goal are clear, all the pieces of your game must be put together and played. Fourth, people and teams. The people are at the core of the action, and we all are humans with biases, beliefs, assumptions. How to establish a functioning team from so many individuals? To make the 37 fantastic tools across the 4 pillars comparable and easily deployable, I have unified them for you in the following form. For each tool, for your orientation, you will get a description that allows you to understand the original purpose and context in 3 key takeaways. Then there are some pros and cons for better understanding, and the scoring, especially for SMEs, to understand the possible impact on your time and resources. Finally, you will see a descriptive diagram of the tool. Second, I will walk you through the tool, the process, step by step and easy to follow. Make sure you use the worksheets that you can download from my homepage. Sometimes good enough is just good enough. Here you will get a proposal for a short version, if you have a maximum of, say, 1.5 hours, or the extended version for a proper meeting. Sometimes you have to think Pareto. 80% of the relevant work can often be done in 20% of the time. And to help you on the way, some strong recommendations for do's and don'ts. After finishing that process, what now? Here I give you some guidance on possible next steps, followed by the embedding within other instruments. Remember, 37, and you want to know where you are. You will find that helpful to not get lost on the large number of options. And as every good process, it comes with a warning label. While these are all very powerful tools and procedures, they can also backfire or malfunction if not used in the right environment or for the right purpose. Based on my experience and the one of others, I offer you some alternative tools. And don't disregard the great tip at the end. Not everybody knows that. This includes and concludes the tool structure, and you will find it for each and every of these 37 tools. Every chapter has 7, 8 or more tools. I acknowledge that you do not always have the time to figure out all of them. Therefore, I've prepared a navigation chart. Every chapter deals with 3 external and 3 internal areas: customers, competitions, environment on one hand, and team offer and structure on the other. This is the internal. If a tool has a special focus on one of these areas, it receives a smiley in the color corresponding to that area. If there's a general focus on the area, a small circle indicates that. The first use of the chart is for the fast player. You see this here on the screen, the fast track. Every chapter has one powerful all-round tool, which I note here is a potential base. This can be used to cover the entire chapter in the shortest time. and you want to have a side look on the special feature which is in the end of the chapter. This way you can go in record time through the entire chapter and get, let's say, 80% of the value. The second way of going through the chapter is meaningful when you have more time, or you know during the process that you want to focus more on specific aspects. Start again with the all-round tool. Here again, marked as a potential base, and if you find an area that you want to reflect on more thoroughly, branch out to the other tools with the smileys. This will give you a great depth on the parts of the process that you need. It is called the flexible avenue. And finally, the premium version or the full journey. If you need a full reset of your strategy or you want to be absolutely sure on all points, just start from tool 1 and work the way through, including the special features. All tools are connected, and I have reduced the redundancy to a minimum. This has brought us to the end of the third pillar, the execution. The fourth pillar, people and teams, offer 3 areas: the team assessment, the group decision-making, and how to resolve group issues. While the tools for pillar 4, teams and people, are described as all other 37, they are not sequentially connected. You can easily choose among them without affecting the strategy process. They are straightforward and will help you, especially as your team grows. Now, when the time really is not on your side, have a fast look into the Rapid Response Kit. Here you will get speedy assessment tools, all mostly 2x2 matrices that fit on the back of an envelope and help you structuring your thoughts in times of pressure. To help you, I have uploaded plenty of information on the webpage itisyourgame.com. In the use cases, I've applied all the tools first to the industry that I'm most familiar with, geospatial data, and there especially a mid-size aerial surveying company. You will still see a lot of comparability with other SMEs, and this chapter should grow fast from now on, and I'm happy to attend your requests. Just give me a message, give me an email, and we can work even together on a new use case chapter for your industry, be it consulting engineers, be it productive industry or retail. Then, under CEO's Little Helpers, you will find all the nice Excel sheets that support all the tools in the book. Have a look and a little bit of patience. When you open them, you can download them as Google Sheets. Please note that in each of these sheets you find additional comments, and these additional comments will guide you through questions through all the fields of the working sheet. I hope this will give you a lot of value. Now, I called it the Pillar 5 or Crossbeam. The Rapid Response Kit holds it all together if you have absolutely no time. It has a number of very fast thought structuring tools for the moment of despair. And thank you, one of my colleagues from the aerial survey had this idea. Thank you, Patrick Meixner, because he told me that the other tools are possibly still too complex to understand when time bites. Now here is your first aid kit. You might have heard of some of them, like the Eisenhower matrix and the Moscow prioritization that should be part of any standard toolkit. The Eisenhower matrix on the left, you can see you just order every issue into urgent, non-urgent, important, non-important, and then it tells you already where you have to do, delegate, decide, or delete. Very simple, very neat and clean and sleek tool. The Moscow prioritization has nothing to do with the same city apparently. It just says you order everything into must have, should have, could have, and won't have, and then work simply your way from the left to the right. It seems all very simple and clear, and in times where you have reflection space, this is all not necessary because it's all on top of your mind. But often there is a moment when you just are not anymore the lord of your thoughts. You just need to sit down with a piece of paper or an Excel sheet and then write something down into an external structure in order to see your thoughts developing. Well, we've all been there. Now let's have a short look in how the combination of an exploration tool and a strategy tool could work. We will use an aerial surveying company with the following characteristics. It owns 2 aircraft, offers aerial photography and LiDAR. It serves public sector clients in Central Europe, operates from 3 offices across the regions, and has sales representatives in 2 additional European countries, and it outsources some production overseas. And there's a little and too much. Sorry for that. While some of you are not from that field, you will still notice that the tools I will present you in a moment are universal. Let's have a short look on how that would work on a combination of PESTEL for exploration and insights, and then how to transfer this into a strategy using the Unsolved matrix, another tool which I describe in depth in the book. The PESTEL analysis, where you see the diagram on the left, helps you to structure the view on the external factors in political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental fields. On the right, you see the worksheet that you would download from my website. And this is how it could look like for our aerial surveying company. Probably a lot of factors that could also be relevant for other industries. Here, for each of the factors, we identify a key signal, so an important factor for the next 2 to 3 years. Look at the political part, EU Recovery Resilience Facility. It's a bit of an older one, it's still valid. Then we have defense mapping budgets rising in NATO states, also a political factor. Affects many other areas too. Economic, you see solid public investment pipeline. Social, clearly urban densification, flood risk awareness. Let's remember the floods, devastating floods over the last couple of years. Technological, we see that LiDAR is miniaturizing. AI is certainly cutting into the cost, but also into the workforce. So technological part is to be considered. We have a legal part. GDPR is still an issue, should not forget that. And we have an environmental element where, for instance, net zero procurement clauses spread also into local tenders, and voluntary carbon markets are still booming on the positive side. So these are just examples. These are key examples for whatever your external factors could be. We could identify now already strategic implications. And this is sometimes also the way to do if you only want to use a single tool. But if you want to go further, we would here use the second tool in a more structured way, which I will describe in a moment. And you will find it in my book. Many of you might know the Unsolved matrix already. It helps us to see the combination of existing and new products or services with existing or new markets. A nice and neat 2x2 matrix, 4 option fields. You can see on the left hand, in an existing market with existing offering, would go, for instance, for market penetration, which bears a low risk. In an existing market with a new offering, we would go for something in the product development or offering development space. Let's go with an existing offering into a new market. We do market development, and in the upper right, when we go into new markets and consider new offerings, we definitely go for diversification. To the right, you can still see my sheet, which you could download again with the guiding questions from my homepage. Now, how would this look for our aerial survey company? Based on the pestle analysis, you see in every field how pestle factors have been addressed. For instance, we are on the lower left in the market penetration, existing market, existing offering, where we work bidding for EU RF funded smart city projects. We would address the factors PES. So there's the back connection to the pestle. The political, economic, and social factors are in. And here we go directly for strategic intents. Market penetration could have this intent. Then we go to the right, existing market, but with a new offering, we could launch real-time autophoto streams, automated flood risk alerts, and so on. This would clearly be in the area of product development, but in existing markets, all based on our pestle analysis. I hope this gave you a short idea on the interconnection of all these processes and how you can use at least 2 tools, but in reality also a series of tools to give you a better understanding of where you come from and where you actually want to be. Please notice that not only the existing strategy is where it ends. We have in the execution area very neat and exciting tools which many people are not using to the extent possible. We have simple action plan, we have OKR frameworks, we have KPIs, everything you actually need in a toolbox to make your strategy reality. Now, after so much work and having so much information already in a book, what's next? You might have guessed it. AI cannot be too far, also in strategic processes. And it should not be. While strategy is definitely an intellectual process that you as a business owner have to dominate and do yourself, AI is a powerful second coach and helper. I am calling it Strat GPT. And it's already quite far in development. So we will be ready soon, and it will make your strategy process even more sleek and efficient. What will it do? First, it will play on the strength of AI tools, and after you give it some minimal information, like your website address, and something about the markets you want to work in, you will get a strategy guide for your process. The tools in the book will all be enabled and ready for use. StratGPT is designed to automatically select the most relevant tools for your specific business needs. And it will even be ready to pre-fill the strategy worksheets with all this information so that you can use them right away for your teamwork. It will access whatever is publicly available. No need for you to open any type of database from your own company. There's a lot of information already out there in the web. And if you're still not sold on this one, well, we have a couple of tools we're working on, which you will see in the moment it comes out. I'm sure there will be a test version. You will definitely have the chance to dive into it in subscription mode and certainly in a test mode before you take actual decision. But let's stay excited and let's stay tuned, please. Thank you very much for your attention today. I wanted to use the remaining minutes for a short Q&A. Now, I'm not sure if the chat feature is actually working, and I have not tested it in this environment. But I would hope that it has been clear in total and you were able to follow me. If you didn't have the time to follow all of it, I will upload this stream to my page and you will be able to dive into this later again. But by all means, connect with me right away. And if you are interested in it, please do feel free and come over, chat with me. Here you will see the entire environment of the book. The QR code brings you to my page, itisyourgame.com. There you can get a short introduction to the book and access to the resources like use cases and all the tools. You can download them as Google Sheets and feel free to use them as you wish. But please also have a short look in my book. There's a specific chapter on intellectual property. Note that I do not claim intellectual property on any of these tools, and I'm also not affiliated or sponsored with any of the entities that have invented these tools. So please have a look here before you use these tools in a public environment. For internal use, I do not see any issue. Here in my book, there's a special chapter on intellectual property and attribution. So that brings me to the end of my first live event on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for the ones who made it today and who actually stayed with me for the entire live event. I hope this book will give you all the value you're looking for. And I also hope that all the gratis tools will help you internally in your process. And if you need personal advice, here's my email, there's my telephone number. It works on a phone, normal phone call on WhatsApp. Feel free, you know where to find me, and latest on LinkedIn. You will find also more and more updates on the It Is Your Game strategy environment. I'm starting a blog on the itisyourgame.com page. So feel free. I'm happy to have you had here. Have a successful journey and always stay on your goal. Thank you very much.